Hello gamers, welcome to another episode of 5-Minute Game Reviews. My name's Julian, and every Tuesday and Friday I'll be trying to upload a new video giving my take in 5 minutes about a new game that I've played. This week I'll be reviewing one of my newer additions to my collection. This is a game from IDW Games, Escape from 100 Million B.C. So this came out this year, 2017. Its designer is Kevin Wilson. It plays 1 to 6 players. It's a cooperative game, an important note. And according to the box, it takes anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. It has a 7.3 rating on Board Game Geek after 221 ratings. For me, the playtime was kind of an issue. I felt like every time I've played this game, it's taken significantly longer than what was on the box, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's something I feel worth noting. Artistically, the game is very attractive. The illustrations are good. The characters are well represented. I was especially impressed with the cultural diversity of the characters that you can play. There is gender balance, which is a nice breath of fresh air. Setup and complexity, there's a lot of cardboard pieces that need setting up, but they all have their assigned baggies, but still it's kind of annoying. Complexity, it's not very complex. There's a bunch of different pieces, but that doesn't really add to the complexity. It's a very simple game, but the challenge is in the longevity of the play. The difficulty, it's not difficult to play. I would say this would be a great game to play with kids because depending on their attention span, you could play however long and still have as much fun, I think, as actually finishing a mission. Immersiveness, it is quite immersive, so you do get a sense of panic when you encounter the Tyrannosaurus Rex and what have you. There are interesting game mechanics that the dinosaurs have, which are well explained in the rules, otherwise would be very confusing. So when you run into a Triceratops, for example, you initially draw from the deck until you don't draw a Triceratops, and that's how many Triceratops you've run into, and oh my gosh, what are you going to do? That's a cool factor to this game. That said, the biggest drawback for me was the lack of real strategy. The strategy is really just determining which aspect of your skill sets to best use on any given turn. When to shoot dinosaurs and when to run, basically, is the strategy of the game. That said, it still has some things going for it. So let's take a quick look and I'll show you what I think. A brief overview of how the gameplay works. I didn't take time to set everything up because you have spaces for all the decks that you encounter through the game. When you encounter different creatures, you place them down here. So there's quite a bit of setup in that regard. Basically what you're doing is you're exploring the map, trying to find pieces to your time machine and bringing them back to the time machine spot, which is in the center of the board. You have a character with a certain number of skill points here. So like my attack is 5, my willpower is 2, my speed is 3, and my toughness is 4. When you move about the board, you explore different tiles and flip them over, and this shows you what you encounter. So this means I found 1 equipment and 1 carnivore. The carnivore cards are probably the scariest cards, or the second scariest. The water monsters, for lack of a better term, are pretty scary too. So what you would do in this situation is draw a card from the carnivore deck. Oh, this is a Pteranodon, which has an attack of 4 and a speed of 9. So they're hard to run away from, so you might as well fight them. So what you would do is you would roll 5 dice. Anything that's a 4, 5, or 6 is a success. So I'd get 2 successes. The Pteranodon would get 4 rolls. Okay, so I tied, so that's enough for me. I won. So a tie is a victory for the characters, and that would be my turn. One frustration I had with this game is anytime you encounter something, and there are a lot of encounters on these tiles, anytime you encounter something, your turn is over. So that's kind of frustrating, but I think with a little tweaking of the rules, it makes into a shortened, more enjoyable experience. So overall, I give this game about a 6.5 out of 10, just because it takes a little bit long to play in my experience, But that said, it still has some cool things going for it. So, thanks for watching. Another one done. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at 5minreviewer. Also, be sure to check back every Tuesday and Friday for more videos. And don't forget to click subscribe. Until then, I've got some more games to play, so see you next time.